Whatever news you read these days about the people of Palestine and Israel, throw it away. If you want to truly know the people of a land, to truly understand these people, their literature and history hold the key. Delve into the pages that chronicles their past, and you will find the birth certificate of the Israeli people, unveiling their triumph and tribulation in the world. But wait, there is more. Stay tuned until the end of the video, where the remarkable tale of Israel's emergence in the Middle East will be unveiled, painting a vivid picture of their journey. What do you think the language of Israel country? Hebrew, the official language of Israel, is a true linguistic gem. It's an ancient language with a rich history that spans thousands of years. In fact, Hebrew is one of the world's oldest languages that is still spoken today. Isn't that amazing? Hebrew has its roots in the ancient Semitic languages of the Middle East. It's closely related to languages like Aramaic and Arabic, which adds to its cultural and historical significance. But what makes Hebrew truly fascinating is its revival as a spoken language in the modern era. Hebrew is not just a means of communication, it's a key that unlocks the treasure trove of ancient wisdom, literature, religious texts. It's the language of the Bible, the language that gave us timeless stories and profound teachings. The language of the Holy Bible is Hebrew because Israel, the birthplace of Jesus Christ, is where the Bible's events primarily took place, including Jesus' birth in Jerusalem. It's worth noting that Hebrew is the primary language of Israeli literature, but translations of many works are available in various languages, allowing readers worldwide to engage with Israeli literary works and gain insight into the country's rich cultural landscape. Throughout its history, Israeli literature has encompassed various forms and genres, including novels, poetry, short stories, plays, and non-fiction works. Israeli literature often reflects the country's unique cultural, historical, and social experiences. As Meir Shalev, Israeli writer, quoted, "Literature is the most powerful means we have for interpreting the world and our own place in it." Identity is one of the aspects for which Israeli literature is renowned. Israeli literature often grapples with questions of identity, exploring what it means to be Israeli, Jewish, or part of a specific cultural or ethnic group within Israeli society. Through diverse characters and narratives, Israeli literature offers nuanced portrayals of personal and collective identities. The literature of Israel reflects the country's unique multicultural character, shaped by the gathering of Jewish communities from different corners of the world, several minorities communities in Israel, the Palestine citizen of Israel, the Jews of non-European origin, the Mizrahi, the Russian speakers, and the Ethiopian Israel. It explores the experiences of immigrants, their struggles, and the process of assimilation into Israeli society. These narratives often highlight the tension between maintaining cultural roots and embracing a new national identity. Moreover, Israeli literature explores the intricate relationships between Jews and Arabs within the complex socio-political landscape of the region. Here are a few notable Israeli literary works that delve into the themes of identity and multiculturalism, and of course their translation is available in English. A Tale of Love and Darkness by Amos Oz. This memoir offers a deeply personal account of Amos Oz's childhood in Jerusalem, exploring his identity as a Jewish Israeli and the complexities of his family history. Arabesques by Anton Shams. This novel follows the life of a Palestinian Christian protagonist, examining themes of identity, language, and the intersecting cultures of Arab and Israeli societies. The bus driver who wanted to be God and other stories by Edgar Kret. This collection of short stories by Kret showcases his unique blend of humor and poignancy, touching on themes of the identity, Israeli society, and the human experience. Border Life by Dorit Rabinian. This novel explores the forbidden love affair between an Israeli woman and a Palestinian man, delving into the complexities of identity, nationality, and the Israeli-Palestine conflict. Given the complex geopolitical situation in the region, Israeli literature often addresses themes of conflicts, War, and the Israeli-Palestinian Conflict. It explores the personal and societal ramifications of such conflicts, questioning the human cost and searching for paths to peace and coexistence. These literary narratives remind us that shared humanity can transcend borders and pave the way for a brighter future. David Grossman. Grossman is an acclaimed Israeli author known for his insightful and empathetic portrayals of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. His novel, To the End of the Land, explores the personal experiences of an Israeli mother whose son serves in the military and the impact of the conflict on her life. Amos Oz is known for his nuanced exploration of Israeli society and his interaction with the Palestinian narrative. His novel, A Woman in Jerusalem, delves into the complexities of the conflict through the story of woman's search for the identity of a deceased foreign worker. Sayed Kashua. Kashua, an Israeli Arab writer, offers a unique perspective on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. His novel, Dancing Arabs, tells the story of an Arab-Israeli protagonist navigating identity, education, and relationships against a backdrop of the conflict. Raja Shehadeh, a Palestinian lawyer and writer, provides a valuable insights into the Palestinian experience. His memoir, Palestinian Walks, Notes on a Vanishing Landscape, reflects on the impact of the conflict on the land and people through his personal accounts of walking in the West Bank. Certainly, the political conflicts in Israel encompass more than just a war between Muslim Palestinians and Jews. It is crucial to acknowledge that in the 20th century, Europe witnessed the horrifying massacre of over 6 million Jews, a topic I will delve into further. Immigration and diaspora. Israeli literature reflects the experiences of various waves of Jewish immigration to Israel, as well as the challenges faced by the immigrants settling into a new country. It also explores the connections between Israeli society and the Jewish diaspora worldwide. Throughout its history, Israel has been a destination for Jews from all over the world, and their diverse stories and struggles have been a significant source of inspiration for Israeli authors. One of the defining themes in Israeli literature is the concept of Aliyah, which refers to the immigrations of Jews in the land of Israel. Israeli literature often reflects the experiences of different waves of Jewish immigration, starting from the early Zionist pioneers in the late 19th and early 20th centuries to the more recent waves of immigration from the former Soviet Union, Ethiopia, and other countries. These literary works delve into the challenges faced by the immigrants as they settle into a new country and try to establish their lives. They explore the complexities of adapting to different culture, learning a new language, and navigating the tensions between their past and present. Many writers depict the struggles, hardships, and triumphs of the immigrant experience, painting a vivid picture of the diverse mosaic of Israeli society. Here are 3 books recommendations on the topic of immigration and diaspora in Israel. The Un-Americans by Molly Antropol. Although not exclusively focused on Israel, this collection of short stories includes My Grandmother Tells Me This Story, which explores the experiences of the young woman who immigrates from Israel to the United States. The story delves into the themes of displacement, cultural adoption, and the complexities of the family ties. The Family Orchid by Naomi Eve. This novel follows the multi-generational saga of a Jewish family in Israel, spanning from the early 20th centuries to the present day. The narrative portrays the family's immigration to Israel, their struggles, and the connections they maintain with their ancestral roots. The Invisible Bridge by Julie Uringer. While primarily set in Europe during World War II, this historical novel also touches upon the experiences of Jewish immigrants from Hungary who find refuge in Israel. The book explores themes of displacement, loss, and the search for a sense of home. Nature and landscape. The unique geography and landscape of Israel often find their way into literature with descriptions of the land, cities, and natural scenery. Israeli writers draw inspiration from a diverse topography and explore the relationships between humans and their environment. The physical geography of Israel, with its desert expanses, Fertile valleys and coastal plains has become symbolic of the Zionist vision and the Jewish people's return to their ancestral homeland. The reclamation and cultivation of the land, as well as the establishment of cities and communities, are foundational elements of Israel's national narrative and serve as a source of pride and identity for its citizens. And now the examples of Israeli literature that showcases the connection between nature, landscape, and human experiences. The Hill of Evil Counsel by Amos Oz, set in Jerusalem during the 1940s and 1950s. This novel explores the lives of various characters against the backdrop of the city's diverse neighborhoods and iconic landscapes. Through his lyrical prose, Amos Oz brings the city to life, depicting its beauty, history, and complexities. The Blue Mountain by Mizrahi. Mizrahi is known for his evocative descriptions of the Israeli landscape, and the Blue Mountain is no exception. The novel tells the story of the family living in a remote village in the mountains of Israel, and Shlev's writing vividly portrays the natural surroundings, from rugged cliffs to blooming wildflowers. The Yellow Wind by David Grossman. In this non-fiction work, David Grossman explores the Israeli-Palestinian conflict through the lens of the landscape. He travels through the West Bank and Gaza Strip, describing the physical and emotional impact of the land on both Israelis and Palestinians, highlighting the connection between nature and political realities. Mizrahi literature refers to the literary works of Jewish writers who hail from the Middle Eastern and North African countries. Mizrahi Jews have a rich cultural heritage and a distinctive set of experiences that differ from those of Ashkenazi Jews, who primarily originate from Eastern and Central Europe. In Israel, Mizrahi Jews have often faced marginalization and discrimination, and their literature serves as a platform to voice their unique narratives and shed light on their lived experiences. Mizrahi literature emerged as a literary movement in Israel during the mid-20th centuries. The writers sought to challenge the dominant Ashkenazi narrative to raise awareness about the cultural richness and diversity of the Mizrahi Jewish community. They explored themes such as identity, discrimination, displacement, and the struggle for equality. Notable Mizrahi authors have made significant contributions to Israeli literature, offering fresh perspectives and shedding light on the complexities of Mizrahi Jewish life. Sami Michael is an acclaimed Israeli author of Iraq Jewish descent. Known for his novel A Trumpet in the Wadi, Michael explores social and cultural dynamics between Mizrahi and Ashkenazi communities in Israel. His books often tackle themes of identity, assimilation, and the challenges faced by Mizrahi Jews in predominantly Ashkenazi society. Shimon Balas, an Iraqi Jewish author, has made substantial contributions to Mizrahi literature. His novel Outcast addresses issues of alienation, identity, and the struggle for acceptance. Balas's writing delves into the complex historical and social dynamics that have shaped Mizrahi Jewish experiences. Eli Amir, an Israeli author of Iraq Jewish heritage, has explored Mizrahi identity and the immigrant experience in his novels. His works, such as The Dove Flyer, depict the challenges faced by Mizrahi Jews in adjusting to life in Israel, while also celebrating their vibrant cultural heritage. And next, the Holocaust literature indicates the great catastrophe of the extinction of Judaism, which I said I would explain. Holocaust literature holds a crucial place in Israeli literature, reflecting the profound impact of the Holocaust on Jewish history and collective memory. Israeli authors have contributed significant works that explore the experiences of Holocaust survivors, the trauma they endured, and the lasting effects on subsequent generations. These writings serve as a testament to the resilience of the Jewish people and the imperative to remember and learn from the atrocities of the Holocaust. Holocaust literature refers to a body of literary works that focuses on the Holocaust, the systematic genocide of 6 million Jews by Nazi Germany during World War II. Holocaust literature encompasses various genres, including novels, memoirs, poetry, plays, and essays written by survivors, witnesses, and subsequent generations. The primary goal of Holocaust literature is to bear witness to the atrocities of the Holocaust, to commemorate the victims, and to preserve the memory of their suffering. It serves as a means of documenting and conveying the experiences, emotions, and realities of those who lived through the Holocaust, as well as reflecting on its historical, cultural, and moral implications. Here are a few notable authors and their works in Holocaust literature. Aaron Applefield, an Israeli author and Holocaust survivor, is renowned for his poignant and lyrical novels that delve into the psychological and emotional aftermath of Holocaust. His works such as Beidenheim, 1939, and The Iron Tracks explore themes of displacement, loss, and the struggle to rebuild lives shattered by the Holocaust. Yehuda Amichai, while primarily known for his poetry, Yehuda Amichai, an Israeli poet and Holocaust survivor, also touched upon the Holocaust in his works. His poetry often reflects the scars of the Holocaust, the complexities of Jewish identity, and the search for meaning in the face of immense suffering. Primo Levi, also not an Israeli author, Primo Levi's writings have had a profound influence on Holocaust literature worldwide. Levi, an Italian Jewish chemist and Auschwitz survivor, documented his experience in works such as Survival in Auschwitz and The Periodic Table. His writing explores the humanizing nature of the Holocaust and the ethical questions it raises. Israeli literature features many talented women writers who offer unique perspectives on Israeli society and feminism. Notably authors include Orly Castle-Bloom, Batya Gur, and Zeria Shlev, who explores women's experiences and challenges within Israeli culture. Israeli literature also includes a growing body of LGBTQ+ literature, offering unique perspectives on the experiences of the LGBTQ community in Israeli society. Authors like Gali Dahan Kalibach, Yossi Avni Levi, and Shiri Eisner explores the theme of identity, sexuality, and acceptance. The impact of Israeli literature extends far beyond its borders through the translations. These translations serve as a bridge, connecting cultures and offering a window into Israeli experiences. Israeli literature has gained international recognition and has been translated into numerous languages. Israel hosts several literary festivals and events throughout the year, celebrating the vibrant literary scene. The Jerusalem International Book Fair, the Hebrew Book Week, and the International Writers Festival in Mishkenot, Shananim are prominent events that bring together authors, publishers, and readers. And now, the answer to the main question remains: what is this Israel-Palestine war for? It is for the land. Muslim Arabs claim that this land is theirs. They argue that they lived here for centuries before Judah came from Europe. Who are these Muslim Arabs? They are the Palestinians. Israel and Judaism respond that they lived here before the Muslim Arabs for centuries. Fact is that both sides are telling the truth. Let's go back 1,000 years ago, hop in our time machine car and travel to the time of the prophets Jacob and his son Joseph. The story of these two prophets is mentioned in the Christian Bible and the Muslim Quran. It tells us that these people lived in a land called Canaan, which is present-day Israel. They had to go to Egypt due to famine and drought. During the time of Prophet Moses, they faced hardship and were pressed by Pharaoh, the ruler of Egypt. This led to Jewish people to return to their own land and establish kingdoms known as Israel and Judah. Later, these two kingdoms were destroyed in wars by Assyrians and Babylonians, and the people of this land were exiled to different places. When the Jewish land was under the Persian Achaemenid Empire, which was the largest empire in the world at that time, the Persian king allowed them to return and inhabit their own land. After the Achaemenids, the Romans came to rule the Jewish land. In 132 AD, the Jews rebelled against the Romans in what is known as the Kokhba Rebellion. This rebellion was a response to the discriminatory policies imposed by the Romans against the Jews. As a result, the Romans exiled the entire Jewish population, and it was during this time that Jews dispersed and settled all over the world, adopting different identities, with one of the most significant being Ashkenazi, which included European Jews. Since then, the Jewish land came to be referred to as Palestine by the Romans. This term is not of Arabic origin, but of Roman origin, with some suggesting it has Judaic roots. During that period, Europe was predominantly Christian, and Ashkenazi Jews formed a minority living in Europe. Christianity regarded Jews as the killer of Jesus Christ, accusing them of crucifying him, and as a result, Jews faced persecution in Europe. In 1897, the Jews organized a congress in Switzerland where Jewish leaders from around the world gathered to discuss their future, including where to settle and establish a new country for themselves and their people. Palestine was confirmed as their desired land, the land of their ancestors. Contrary to current claims, the Palestinians did sell portion of their land to the Jews, but records indicate that the amount of land sold accounted for only a small percentage, ranging from 3 to 10%. However, after a certain period, the Ottoman ruler prohibited Palestinians from selling land to Jews. This ban remained in place until the end of the World War I, which resulted in a Jewish and Zionist victory. The British and European powers, in a position of strength, made promises to the Arabs, encouraging them to rebel against the Ottomans. In return, the Arabs were promised independence and the lands resulting from partition of the Ottoman Empire. Behind closed doors, the British government and France were dividing the Middle East between themselves, with Britain expressing interest in Palestine. Simultaneously, Britain offered Palestine to the Zionists, declaring that the country belonged to them. This offer became known as the Balfour Declaration, comprising 67 words and issued in Britain in 1917. According to this declaration, all Jewish people worldwide were allowed to live in Palestine, with Britain recognizing the right to do so. It was as if Britannia acted as a real estate agent, selling the same property to multiple parties. After World War I, Britain took control of Palestine and developed its troops there. Jews began immigrating to Palestine under British supervision, and gradually the policies implemented favored the Jewish population and disadvantaged the Muslim Arabs. In response to the British actions, the Arabs revolted against both the Jews and the British, leading to various conflicts and wars. Consequently, the Jewish population increased, and even before the outbreak of World War II, Jews constitute around 30% of the population. Britain withdrew all its forces from Palestine and handed over Palestine to the United Nations. The United Nations proposed to form two countries in the Palestine reign, one for the Jews and one for the Arabs. The Arabs constitute the majority of the population, with 46% for them and 54% for the Jews. However, the Arabs did not accept this proposal, leading to conflicts. Israel was established in 1948, but Arab countries and those surrounding Israel launched attacks against it, resulting in a year-long war. However, in 1949, Israel emerged victorious and the Arab countries were defeated, bringing an end to the war. Despite the futility of war, the Palestinian people endured. While the majority of them are Arabs, Israel's population exceeded that of the Palestinians. This is because after each victory, Israel expanded its territory and gained a higher percentage of land from the Palestinians. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the heart of Israeli literature and history. May the stories we encounter continue to inspire and illuminate our past.